Hey, good morning, Pascal here again. And if you have a drone and you want to travel soon and you're not sure how to do that, and if you can do that, especially regarding airports, then this video is for you, because I'm leaving Thailand right now. Here behind me is the beautiful island of Koh Phangan. I will drive to Krabi now, first with a ferry, then with a van, and there I will enter the airplane to Kuala Lumpur and I fly to Borneo finally. That's my destination, to get some rainforest adventures, see orangutans and so on. So I think this trip will be amazing, and on the way I will tell you how I travel with my drone. So I'm in Krabi airport now, waiting for the airplane. It was actually quite fast to go here from Koh Phangan. So let's talk about what you need to plan before your trip when you want to travel with a drone. So it's actually quite easy. The first thing that you definitely want to do is to check in the country you want to go to, it's allowed to fly drones, and basically you want to know a bit more about the rules. So what you want to do is you go to Google and you type in the country name plus drone regulations, and then you will find everything. But what you should do while searching this, you should only watch for search results that are like from the current calendar year or 1 year before. So let's say you have an article that is 5 years old, then the rules probably changed in the country, so it wouldn't be so smart to stick to those rules. And what you should also do is, especially when you recognize that there are some crazy regulations, like you have to register your drone or it's forbidden or something, what you should also check, if you want to bring your drone anyway, maybe because you're flying in another country afterwards where it's allowed, then you should check if your drone gets taken at the airport or not. And also, like, maybe you want to fly anyway. I mean, I'm not a policeman here, you can do whatever you want to do. At least please stick to safety rules. In my opinion, it's the most important thing. Call. And in that case, you should definitely check out a bit deeper on Google what you find about that, how the laws are actually treated, because in some countries, for example like Thailand here, the law is not really enforced, or they don't see it, or they don't take it so strict. And in that case, it may be possible that you can still fly if you want to. I don't recommend to do that, because when you get caught, you have a problem. I cannot help you, I'm not a lawyer here or something. But yeah, it's just what I want to say. But it's also important, not just because you necessarily want to do something illegal, but maybe you go backpacking and you want to visit multiple countries. Maybe you want to go to Malaysia after Thailand. And it's also important for you to know if your drone gets taken at the airport or something. Because let's say you would first go to a country where it's forbidden, and then you go to another country and they take it at the first country, then of course your drone is gone and you lose your drone and you cannot take any shots in the other country also. So that's important for you to know. So let's say you want to do backpacking in Africa, so you go to Morocco first and then maybe fly further to South Africa or something, then you could get problems, because in Morocco, as far as I know, they take the drones at the airport. And yeah, then you get into trouble. So check that before, and check how it's actually handled. So even if you decide to not fly in a country where it's forbidden or something, then definitely check it out if they take it at the airport, just to make sure that the rest of your trip goes well. So my flight to Kuala Lumpur goes soon, and I would say when I arrive in Kuala Lumpur, we can talk about how you can actually pack your stuff together so that you don't get problems at the airport or on the plane. I arrived in Kuala Lumpur. It was actually the hardest flight I ever had. I mean, it wasn't long, but we had so much turbulence that it was fucking crazy. But yeah, so let's wait for the next flight now, and let's talk about what you need to think of when you pack your stuff to travel with your drone. So first and most important thing is to think about the batteries, because it's only allowed to transport the batteries in your hand luggage. So this is because like the LiPo batteries, they can like burn or something accidentally. It can happen. It happened to some smartphones in the past. And of course, when that happens with a given luggage, this is hard to access in the airplane, right? So when you have it in your hand luggage, it's much easier to access that, and so you can fight the fire much easier, and then it's not a big problem, right? So that's why it's important to have the batteries in your hand luggage. And this is basically the only thing that you really need to think about. All the other stuff is really not that important. You can actually even do your drone in your given luggage, but the batteries, they must be in your hand luggage, and the rest is really up to you. And I mean, you have around like 3 options how you pack your stuff. So the first option is basically the stuff that applies to most people, and that is that you have given luggage and hand luggage. So you have like one big bag, like 20 kilos or more. And of course, you have plenty of space if you have a bigger drone in that part. But what I prefer to do is I like to have, like when I'm not on the airport anymore, but when I checked in my hotel and I want to go out and so on, then I want to have my drone with me without carrying such a big bag, right? So that's why I recommend to get a special drone bag. And if you have a bigger drone like the Phantom, then I would definitely recommend the Manfrotto Aviator D1. It's actually not that expensive. I think a bit more than 100 euros at the moment. I had it with me on Tenerife last year, and that's an amazing bag. It really has everything you need as a video photographer that carries a drone. And of course, when you have smaller drones like the Mavic Air right now, or the Mavic Pro, then you can use every bag you want. So just your normal photo bag or whatever you prefer, it's totally fine. And I mean, you have enough space in your other bag, in your given luggage, for the other stuff like your clothes and so on, right? But there are also other cases, and this is like I travel. I only travel with carry-on luggage, and the problem here is, of course, at first the weight. But so I always have overweight baggage, and like of 30 or 35 flights, I only got caught one time, and I had to pay around 15 euros more, so that wasn't too bad. But so how I do it right now with the Mavic Air now, I can show that here. Not sure if you can see that, guys, but here I have this bag. This is the Lower Pro 350. It's an awesome bag, I really love it. And I have the other bag here, and that is actually a pretty simple Dakine sports bag. So I just pack all my stuff, like my clothes and so on, in there, and all my valuables like my laptop, my drone, my camera and so on. This all comes in the Low Pro bag, and this bag is awesome. I can make another review about that. It's really not the topic here, but like that bag fits everything, and I can access everything so fast. That makes it perfect. And like for drones like that, this is a good combination, because then I don't need to have such a big bag. Because like before, I had Osprey 4.40 when I was traveling with the Mavic Pro, and that bag is awesome too. It's also very good for backpacking, but you always have to carry such a big bag, right? And that's why I decided now to have one smaller photographer bag, where I can also transport the Mavic Air, because it's very small, and I have one sports bag for the rest. It's also good because when they catch me at the airport that I have too much weight in my bags, then I can simply leave one bag as given luggage, and I can carry on the other bag with all my valuables in there, so that's also pretty nice. One problem that I also have is that I bought the Mavic Air while I was in Thailand, and the thing is that there is this awesome, nice camera, like drone bag for the Mavic Air, comes with it with the Fly More combo, and of course I don't want to throw this bag away, so that's why I actually have this drone right now in my sports bag, and inside the original DJI bag so that I don't need to throw it away, but also don't waste space. And I put some other things in my photographer bag. But of course, I mean, most people who watch that video would probably buy the drone at home. I don't really have a home. I'm basically homeless right now. I'm like doing perpetual traveling. So, but for you, you can of course leave it at home and just pack your drone in the main bag. So that would probably be a bit easier then, and would also make it easier for me by packing. Yeah, so that's actually everything. It's pretty easy. I mean, just watch for the batteries and the rest is fine. Of course, watch all the regulations and so on before, like I told you before. And then there's nothing bad that can happen for your trip, right? I hope so. Of course, don't crash your drone. Always fly safe. And yeah, I'm waiting for the next flight to Kuching now, and I think this will be an awesome adventure. There are like orangutans living that you can see. There are some nice other rainforest tours that you can do, so I'm very excited for that. And I think I mentioned it before, I'm not sure. Probably after 3 weeks or so I will go to Vietnam. There will also be a lot of nice travel vlogs, so if you're interested in that, then please hit the subscribe button now and see you in one of the next videos.